If you have been dealing with nerve pain or sciatica pain, as a lot of people like to call it, or that pain that goes down the back of the hip into the back of the leg, then you need to try these two movements to assess if your pain can be changed with movements and exercise. Knowing how your specific symptoms react to movements is a great first step to establishing a good treatment plan so we can start reducing this nerve pain, improving your movement, and getting you pain and injury free. So, most often, sciatica pain shows up somewhere in the back of the hip or the leg. The irritated nerve starts back here in the lower back, and then that pain and discomfort can flow out to the outside part of the hip, into the glute or buttock muscles, down the back of the thigh or hamstring, and even down into the calf or the bottom of the foot. Before we do any movements, we want to first assess exactly where our symptoms are at and how intense those symptoms are. Now, symptoms are typically pain, numbness or tingling, or just a general tight feeling. So we want to actually find the spot that is furthest down the leg, and we are going to pay attention to only that spot. Now, we're only paying attention to that one single spot because of the phenomenon of centralization or peripheralization. Those two words are just fancy ways of saying, are the symptoms moving closer to the source or further away from the source? Centralization is a phenomenon that indicates that the nerve is less irritated and the discomfort is moving closer to the source. Again, that source being the irritated nerve in the low back. So the first assessment that we will do is bending forward 10 times. We want to bring our feet together, knees stay straight, and we're going to reach down, touching our toes or as close to our toes as we can get. After you perform 10 reps, we are going to then reassess exactly where your symptoms are located. For example, if you had pain right behind your knee and it was a 3 out of 10, and after you do the 10 forward bends, the pain moves down into the calf and is a 3 out of 10 in that location, we know that that forward bending in that flexed position is a peripheralizing stimulus. Now, if your symptoms moved closer up the leg or maintained the same position but decreased in intensity, that is called centralizing. But what if the symptom didn't change at all? It was a 3 out of 10 here before and after that movement. Well, you're going to do 2 rounds of 10 more repetitions each. And again, monitoring each time, did the location of my symptom change or did the intensity of the symptom change? In the second movement we are going to do is backwards bends to work on extension through our low back. So you will set up in the same position, feet together, knees straight, hands on your hips, and you are going to bend backwards 10 times, just like so. After 10 repetitions, again, you will then monitor exactly where your symptoms are located and exactly how intense they are. Now, we are going to only, again, pay attention to how far down the leg that furthest symptom is at. For example, again, if your pain started behind the knee at a 3 out of 10, and after doing the backwards bends, the furthest symptom down your leg is now up here underneath your hip, and it's a 2 out of 10, that is called centralization. Again, if you had a 3 out of 10 discomfort behind the knee, and after doing your backwards bends, that pain or symptom moved further down your leg, that is a peripheralizing movement. All right, if you found that your symptoms got better when you did that forward bend movement, then this is going to be a quick, simple progression of movements that you can do to promote more symptom reduction and reduction of your pain. The first movement we are going to do is laying flat on our back and bringing our knees up to our chest just like so. We are going to be doing that 10 times, resting 10 seconds, 10 more times, resting 10 seconds, and then a third set of 10 times. The next set of exercises will be sitting in a chair or on a bench like so, and bringing your knees up one at a time, alternating back and forth. The goal is to do 30 on each leg. Once those become easy, and if those are not causing any pain or discomfort, we are going to move to bending forward in a sitting position. So reaching forward just like so, and back up. Again, our goal is 30 times or 3 sets of 10. And then the final progression of this set of exercises is actually going back into a standing position and doing those forward bends, like so. Feet together, knees straight. reaching down as far as you can. Again, 3 sets of 10 or 30 repetitions. So for each of these movements, you can start with the easiest one, and once you do 3 sets of 10 or 30 reps at least 6 times a day for 2 to 3 days straight, and the symptoms do not get any worse or move any further down the leg, you can progress to the next part of that movement or the next evolution of that movement. Now, if you found that your symptoms got better or centralized with the backwards bend assessment, then these are going to be a few exercises that you can do to help reduce your pain and improve your movement right away. I know it sounds super simple, but the first movement is simply laying on your stomach, just like so. We want to be completely relaxed. You're just going to find a firm surface to lay on, and you're going to lay in this position for 5 minutes, 6 to 8 times every single day. The next progression of this movement is propping yourself up on your elbows like so, and again, laying in this position for 5 to 10 minutes, at least 6 times a day. Once you have mastered this position, we are going to move to a full press up. That would look like this. Hands on the ground like so, pressing all the way up and back down. As I'm doing this, my legs and my lower body is completely relaxed. I'm not like squeezing my butt or like pushing my legs into the ground. I'm relaxing my lower body and using my hands to arch my back up. I'm focusing on this part of my low back right above my hips and my pelvis to be the pivot point. You might feel a little pressure there, but again, these symptoms should not be made worse by this. So for each of these exercises, doing them a lot is going to make a big difference. We want to do a lot of frequency of these exercises because we want to promote more input to that nerve to help calm it down. Sometimes we can see symptoms worsening closer to the source of the pain, but it doesn't go further down the leg. That is okay. As long as when you do them, the pain doesn't move further down the leg or get to a point where it's worsening in the same spot, then we are on the right track.